Good day, this is Adessa. In this video, I am going to describe the solar system. The solar system is the gravitationally bound system of the Sun and the objects that orbit it, either directly or indirectly. Of the objects that orbit the Sun directly, the largest are the 8 planets, with the remainder being smaller objects, the dwarf planets and small solar system bodies. Of the objects that orbit the Sun indirectly, the natural satellites, 2 are larger than the smallest planet, Mercury. The solar system formed 4.6 billion years ago from the gravitational collapse of a giant interstellar molecular cloud. The vast majority of the system's mass is in the Sun, with the majority of the remaining mass contained in Jupiter. The 4 smaller inner system planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are terrestrial planets, being primarily composed of rock and metal. The 4 outer system planets are giant planets, being substantially more massive than the terrestrials. The 2 largest planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are gas giants, being composed mainly of hydrogen and helium. The 2 outermost planets, Uranus and Neptune, are ice giants, being composed mostly of substances with relatively high melting points compared with hydrogen and helium called volatiles, such as water, ammonia, and methane. All 8 planets have almost circular orbits that lie within a nearly flat disk called the ecliptic. The solar system also contains smaller objects. The asteroid belt, which lies between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, mostly contains objects composed like the terrestrial planets of rock and metal. Beyond Neptune's orbit lie the Kuiper belt and scattered disk, which are populations of trans-Neptunian objects composed mostly of ices, and beyond them, a newly discovered population of sednoids. Within these populations, some objects are large enough to have rounded under their own gravity, though there is considerable debate as to how many there will prove to be. Such objects are categorized as dwarf planets. The only certain dwarf planet is Pluto, with another trans-Neptunian object, Eris, expected to be, and the asteroid Ceres, at least close to being a dwarf planet. Interplanetary dust clouds freely travel between regions. 6 of the planets, the 6 largest possible dwarf planets, and many of the smaller bodies are orbited by natural satellites, usually termed moons, after the Moon. Each of the outer planets is encircled by planetary rings of dust and other small objects. The solar wind, a stream of charged particles flowing outwards from the Sun, creates a bubble-like region in the interstellar medium known as the heliosphere. The heliopause is the point at which pressure of the solar wind is equal to the opposing pressure of the interstellar medium. It extends out to the edge of the scattered disk. The Oort cloud, which is thought to be the source of long-period comets, may also exist at a distance roughly 1,000 times farther than the heliosphere. The solar system is located 26,000 light-years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy in the Orion Arm, which contains most of the visible stars in the night sky. The nearest stars are within the so-called local bubble, with the closest, Proxima Centauri, at 4.25 light-years. The principal component of the solar system is the Sun, a G2 main sequence star that contains 99.86% of the system's known mass and dominates it gravitationally. The Sun's 4 largest orbiting bodies, the giant planets, account for 99% of the remaining mass, with Jupiter and Saturn together comprising more than 90%. The remaining objects of the solar system, including the 4 terrestrial planets, the dwarf planets, moons, Asteroids and comets together comprise less than 0.002% of the solar system's total mass. Astronomers sometimes informally divide this structure into separate regions. The inner solar system includes the 4 terrestrial planets and the asteroid belt. The outer solar system is beyond the asteroids, including the 4 giant planets. Since the discovery of the Kuiper Belt, the outermost parts of the solar system are considered a distinct region consisting of the objects beyond Neptune. This has been Odessa, and thank you for watching.